Good morning and welcome to first episode Movis Media Group's brand strategy opportunity for you to get some information, ask some questions that you may have about your brand or about one of the most overused, in my opinion, terms in the industry, marketing. Everyone's a marketer. Everyone can market, but what does it really mean to market your brand? What does it really mean to take your brand to another level when you get ready to go into 2015? People were asking me recently, some clients were asking, what am I working on as of right now? And since the last quarter, I've been working on what I'm going to do next year. And most successful brands are doing exactly that. They're focusing on their strategy and their planning for next year. So many times in marketing, people use, as far as small businesses, we'll be very specific here. They use the spray and pray approach. I'm a former active duty Marine, and so I have to be 100 all the time. And so when I say spray and pray, I mean they invest a lot of money in doing a lot of things that they hope may stick. And so when I think of that, I remember being young and my mom being in the kitchen and cooking. And so when she cooked there, they had this little trick where you take the spaghetti noodle, and you throw it up against the wall. And if it sticks, it's done. If it doesn't stick, it's not done. Let's use that same principle when we talk about marketing and we talk about your business and we talk about where you want to be. Get into all the. I want to let you start every single 160 to that. And even if I'm not looking at my best, I had to no matter what, that my business is successful no matter what. And that is me being a constant student of life, me constantly learning and growing and moving to the next level. Well, for all of you out there that are looking at, what am I going to do? How am I going to expand my brand? You may want something more, but you're stuck in a state of overwhelm. Guess what? It happens to everyone, including me. And after working with some of the most successful brands in the industry, one thing that I know for a fact, one thing that I know for true, sorry, fixing my lipstick there, I can see me just like you can see me, keeping it real. One thing that I know to be true is that people only buy from people they know, like, and trust. And so how do you get people to know you, to like you, to move forward with you? Well, one of the key things is finding a way to communicate your message and connect with audiences regardless of what you're going through and what your brand's going through. You never want to look like what you've been through. You may be dealing with a lot of things on the inside, and I know being an entrepreneur, especially for smaller businesses, is hard. It's not easy to be able to do the things that we do. It really is a consistent effort to be relevant in today's market. So before we go any further, let's just look at what's marketing. So marketing defined is the action or business of promoting or selling a product or service, including market research and advertising. What is market research? Let me stop right there. If you have a brand or you're launching a product or you're looking to expand where you currently are, brand expansion, if you're looking to go to the next level, if you're looking to grow where you are and grow through where you are, you need to do the research and you need to have a plan. My formula for success for anybody, this is not to get you into a sales funnel, to get you to buy nothing else. I want to see you shine. I want to see you win. And I have too many people that come to me wanting me to basically solve their problem. No one, and I mean no one, is going to support your dream, go for your dream, work for your dream, care about your dream like you will. So if you want to take your business, your book, your product, your new service, your invention, your patent, whatever, to the next level, you got to get to work. And you got to get to work with professionals, not necessarily that you do everything, but you have to have an understanding of your plan and where you want to go with your vision. So if you want your events to start being at a different level of success, there's got to be some strategy behind it. You can't just send something out, flyers for a live event, a concert, or whatever, or even a new book or a service, and expect people to just jump on it. They have no understanding of what it is that you're offering. We try to make things more complex than they had to be. And Einstein said that genius is taking something complex and making it simple. I am going to make this so simple for you on a daily basis. And my commitment is not only for me to be able to share some cool stuff with you guys, but it's to start to see you shine. So as a favor, as a bonus, and what you could do to pay me back for sharing with you some of this golden information, leave some comments, leave some feedback, record your own testimonials as we go along, and share this message with other people that may be going through the struggle, because there is no secret sauce to success. There is no secret sauce to marketing. There's no secret sauce to any of this. The secret is doing the research and understanding very simple economics, supply and demand. Stop trying to supply things that are not in demand. Stop. Quit. Right there. Boom. Hashtag no supply. Hashtag no demand. Like, get to that point to where it's not about trying to give people what you want to give them. Give them what they need. Stop trying to be something, a copy of something of what you think that the market needs, because the market needs you. It needs you in your original, dynamic, amazing form. And so that's what I want to talk about. Your original dynamic form. Excuse me. Water. Drink water or die. That was the campaign. So a little about me. I'm a former active duty Marine, and I spent my career as a military broadcast journalist, public affairs specialist for one of the most elite organizations in the Marine Corps. And it was an opportunity for me to grow through some things. I decided to join the Marine at the age of 17. I graduated high school early, and I went and I did some things. I'm not breezing over, my background just to breeze over it. I think that there's value there, but you really don't need to know everything there is to know about me. You got to start getting to know you. I know me. And so as I started to go to the Marines, it challenged me to be broken down of who I was daily, to learn and grow through so that I could become a new, more advanced and better me. And so in that process, I gained not only the insights and opportunity, but I gained some experience along the way. And that experience has helped me to work with some of the leading agencies in the world and leading organizations, including Emmy Award-winning speaker Les Brown, working as a line producer for Sesame Street International, working on campaigns for some of the most awesome advertising agencies in the world. Everything from the inside out. And so during my career, so many people would say, well, you just want to focus on one thing. And so I started, trying to focus on one thing and one thing at this. But what you can't do is allow yourself to be put into a box. And so when I think about marketing and I think about the one-on-one, the basics of it, I realize that you are your own market. When people say find your niche market, you have your own unique market. I have my own unique market. I mean, coming out of the Marine Corps, specializing in public affairs, working with international media, understanding that I really had a unique market. Not a lot of people could say that they had done those things. And to go further past that, moving out of that realm and coming into civilian media, working in film and television, producing international broadcasts on TV, through my company, Movis Media Group, and taking it to the next level, I realized that when I thought of marketing, when I thought of media, when I thought of brand things, these terms that are thrown around so loosely, most people don't truly understand what they mean. I realized that at the heart of everything is you. It's you. It's your brand. It's your technique, your strategy, your understanding, your opportunity, your knowledge, your applied knowledge that you have to share with the world. It truly is you. So how can you leverage the you-ness and take that to the next level and take that to a different place that it had never been before? Okay, got that. So I want you guys to write this down. Marketing. The action or business of promoting or selling products or services, including market research and advertising. The action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So I just said that without a strategy, your plan, and understanding for yourself, what all the good stuff is, none of it really matters. None of it. So you have an event coming up. Maybe you have a concert or you're throwing a party. You want people to show up to. You want it to be the best that it could be. And you want to tap into your market, the people that are going to appreciate what you have to offer. Well, the first thing is you got to figure out, where are they purchasing? Where are they buying? Where do they consume? Why do they consume? How do they consume? You know, on what days are they more prominently to consume? At how are they more prominently to go out and, you know, make that purchase? It could be their payday. It could be around the holiday season. It could be Easter. I don't know. It depends on your consumer. It depends on what you're selling, or what you have to offer, whatever your service is. You know, a lot of people start with a lot of good intentions. And so what happens when you think of that is, well, intention is great, but how are you going to try and get to successfully? That's all I'm saying. How are you going to get to where you're trying to get to successfully, to be able to optimize on that situation for yourself? Okay. So I mentioned the word strategy. I'm all about breaking it down because, like I said, a lot of these terms are overused and abused and nobody really knows what they mean. And so a strategy is a plan of action or a policy designed to achieve a major overall aim and or goal. It's executing with precision and getting to where you want to go. So let's say, for example, you have a new product that's coming out, a new book, and you've been working on this new book, but you want to get your book. So this is what happens. Let's take a step back. Before you even write a book, before you do anything else, who is your market? Who is your target market? What are you aiming at? What is success for you? What are the specifics? You know, people say write goals. What are the specifics of it? That's a whole nother conversation. We'll get into that as far as setting goals and really writing them out. I'll touch on that for you guys. But I need you to say, you know, what is that? I want to make the bestseller list. Okay, we can get you on the bestseller list, no problem. You get on the bestseller list, and then what? Oh, well, I wanted to make more money doing this and that. Okay, well, I wanted to drive more traffic to my website as well. I'm not really seeing any returns from me being on Oprah. I want to get on Oprah, right? But you don't have the distribution or the fulfillment center to get your stuff out there. So now you've hit a state of overwhelm and you haven't planned. Let's just focus on the plan. Marketing 101, have a plan. That's it. All we're going to focus on is setting up a plan and setting up a strategy for you. Set up your plan, set up your strategy, and execute with precision to a whole nother level. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, great was ever achieved without a little strategy, without a little planning, and knowing where you're aiming. Excuse me. It is cold in Atlanta. Side note, I'm from Miami. It's cold. It's cold. Anywho, off of that soapbox and back onto this one. Your strategy and your plan. We talked about what the definition of strategy is. You wrote that down. Strategy, a plan of action or policy designed to achieve a major overall aim or goal. Your master plan, your game plan. What is it that you're going to do? How are you going to be on the offense and how are you going to be on the defense for my sports people out there? Then marketing, the action or business of promoting or selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Your market research, who are your top 10 competitors in your market? Out of those top 10 competitors, what are they charging for the same products or services that you offer? Now that you know that they do that, how do they do that? How do they offer? Where do they advertise, right? R&D, they say research and development. I heard someone say one time, rip off and duplicate. And it sounds horrible, rip off and duplicate, but you know, that may actually be the most accurate way. There is some of what you want to do successfully. I'm sorry to break this to you. I'm going to be the realest one in it. But your idea, golden goose, your 1 in a million is already being guaranteed. It may not be done the way that you want to do, being done, and it may not be the exact thing, be a tweak to it there that you have it might be a little bit different. System in place, system. Fail, but systems win. But systems work. People fail, but systems work. The system that they have in place that's working. You should be working on a daily basis to know what your competitors are doing successfully and what they are failing at. Why? Because that helps you with your game plan and your roadmap. When you think about football, when you think about how a team makes it to the Super Bowl, how they make it, they watch old plays. They're watching their competitors. They're looking at what they do. They look at what moves they make. They look at where they're strong, and they look at where they're weak. They look at who the players are. They're analyzing what's going on with that player. Does this person have an injury? Are they operating? Are they operating at their most optimal? How do they play in these weather conditions? All of these different things that they're looking at so that they can play at their most optimal. They had the research, the market research, and they understand what they're competing against. If you don't know what you're competing against, you have already lost the battle. If you don't know what's going on in the market around you, you've already lost the battle. Why would you want a larger share of a shrinking market? It doesn't make sense. 100% of nothing is nothing. So when we go into my next key overused term, we're going to look at the term branding. Okay, at the bottom of the screen, it says, I am a brand strategist. Most people don't know what a strategist is. I just explained to you. The strategist, the person that puts together a plan, action, or policy in order to win. The master plan, the game plan for execution to get it done. Okay, you need a strategist in your life. I'm here for you. And then branding, the brand. Think of branding. Back in the day, when we look into history, to brand an animal, they would heat this object, and they would brand it onto the animal. And then they started branding wine cases, and they did all this different type of branding. They would brand it so that your name, that this is my property. You have to think about branding in the same way when you think about your online real estate. How much of the real estate in your market, how much of the real estate in your consumer's mind do you own? Now, that was kind of heavy. I'm going to step back. How much of their real estate do you own? How much of that real estate have you been able to master or conquer in that area? Are you the resource in your market? And if you're not the resource, who is the current resource? What are they doing successfully? And how can you compete with that current resource? Especially when they they've checked their six, they have their plan, and they're ready to execute on a whole nother level. What does it mean to really, really own a larger share of a growing market? And how can you corner that market for yourself? First step, again, having that plan in place. So just want to touch really quickly on branding and what a brand is before we get into the wickets of a plan. I'll give you 3 action steps that you can use to start to set up your marketing plan, okay? Branding. A brand strategy is a long-term plan for development of a successful brand in order to achieve specific goals that you may set forth. A well-defined and executed brand strategy affects all aspects of a business and directly connected with consumer needs, emotions, and competitive environments. So, your brand strategy consists of 3 key areas. 3 of the most important areas, and I'm defining this brand strategy in areas based off of my knowledge and experience in the industry for over 10 years. The key thing, 1, being your competitive analysis, analyzing what your competitors are doing correctly, what they're doing incorrectly, what you could do better, and what is your unique proposition so that you can position yourself successfully in the what do you do better than anybody else in your industry? What is it that you do better, and how do you do it better? And starting to tap into that. Okay, so number 1, your competitive analysis. Two, your target audience research. Who is your target audience? Who are you targeting? Before you wrote a book, before you released a new audio series and you did all that, what was the plan and who are you, your target market? You got to figure that out. When you think of your game plan, who am I servicing? Who are my competitors? And then what do you think the third one is? Honestly, your unique opportunity. What is it in your niche that you specialize in? So you found out who your target market is, who you're targeting, who you're servicing, how you're going to service them, all that kind of good stuff. Who your competitors are, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what can you do better, and then what's your niche? What do you do better, different, and more fabulous than everybody else? My competitors in my market, when I deal with different people, my entire life, people have told me to focus on one thing, right? And so I focus on one thing, but I just got bored. Like, it's boring for me just focusing specifically on websites or focusing specifically on SEO or focusing specifically on marketing or focusing specifically just on branding, focusing specifically on live events. Boring. And when I thought to myself, if I wanted someone to go to court for me, and I was dealing with trial, Simpson was dealing with that. That's a whole nother controversy. This is just an example, people. I don't agree on any front, but I'm thinking about this trial and I'm like, okay, do I want a family court lawyer? Do I want a corporate lawyer? Do I want somebody who knows, criminal activity in Bolivia? No, I want the expert. I want the Johnny Cochran of this. So why would your consumer not want the Johnny Cochran niche market of your business? To even use Johnny Cochran as an example just shows that this is a brand that everyone got to know. Long after he's passed, the legacy lives on. What is your legacy going to be in your market? Is it solely around a product that you kind of just came up with, or is it truly understanding the need for what you have to offer in the market? And there is a need. It's just about positioning that need so that it's successful and that people clearly understand your message. So target market research as you're setting up your plan. 2, your competitive analysis. Who are you competing with? What do they do good? What do they do bad? How can you do it better? Then 3, your niche. What makes you special? So when I think of other people that are brand strategists or personal branding coaches, I use these quotes because I have a lot of clients and I deal with a lot of people. All these people said they were doing all this different stuff and they did nothing. And so I measure my success by return on investment, and your return on investment being return on your time, and the success of your campaign. So if it was to gain more awareness, if it was to fill up a room, if it was to drive more traffic to your website, if it was to create more conversions, whatever that is, that's the conversation I'm having. Why? Because I'm not focused on selling you into something that doesn't create some level of success, or selling you into something to where you have to keep buying something, to where you have to buy something else, to where you have to buy something else to get some results. That's boring to me. It's inauthentic. That's what's different about my brand. I could care less truly about all of this. I care about the bottom line. I'm a bottom line kind of person. And so that's what's unique about my brand. People that work with me know that I am a kick in the pants. I'm a little hard to deal with, and I'm going to require you to do your best at all times, because accountability is key. Accountability is everything. You have to be accountable to yourself for your brand's success and your brand's failure. And if you have not executed a correct plan, a correct strategy, starting with those 3 key elements, understanding who your target market is, who are you serving, Number 2 being your competitive analysis. Who are your competitors in your market? You have competitors in your market. You have competitors in your market. You have competitors in your market. I said that 3 times because I don't know how many times I've heard from people that no one's doing what I'm doing. Someone's doing it, sweetie. It's time for you to get real about it and get serious about your business and get serious about yourself and take it to the next level by examining first before you do anything else. Find out your competitors. What are they doing? Where are they at? Because that's where you need to be. And then 3rd, understanding your unique opportunity in your market. If you don't want what's real, if you want someone to sugarcoat it and just give you some fluff and stuff and not really have any deliverables for you, or, you know, kind of sell you this dream that you'll soar and fly without a plan of action, I am not the brand for you. What is yours? Yours might be that sweet and cuddly brand that's all nice and fun. Your brand might be one that is hardcore. You know, I always say I go into beast mode in the fourth quarter. I actually started beast mode in the third quarter. That's when I'm starting to go hard and really focusing and being more strategic about how aggressive I'm going to be in the next year. Well, some companies are like that. They're beast mode companies. And then, let's see, there's other companies that are like Small Cakes, which is this really cool cupcake place that has the best wedding cake cupcake. Check them out. Shout out to Small Cakes. I would love a wedding cake cupcake today. They always sell out really fast, so I'm going to try to get there earlier today. But anywho, that's their strategic positioning. And then they have the logo of certification that they are the bomb.com from the Food Network because they were on Cupcake Wars. So that's really dope. So that might be your brand. So as I wind down today, I want you to just remember those 3 key elements that I gave you, which were target market, competitive analysis, your unique niche. Start formulating your game plan, your master plan for the next year, and then you can get into the details as far as your marketing, your promotions, what materials work, what materials don't work. You know, what's your online and offline marketing strategy? What does that mean for a small business owner? And who can you align yourself with to help you to get the results you need successfully? I had a great time sharing with you guys this morning. I'm looking forward to doing this every day for 365 days, and this is only day 1. And I'm glad that I was able to share with you, and I hope you got some value out of it. So leave some comments below. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and shout them out. This is my little experiment for myself and for my stretch goal to be able to share and do some things. And I am a student of life. I'm a student of the industry. I am a student to continue to grow, develop, grow through. Bruce Lee said to be like water. So I've decided to be like water and let it flow. And I just got on here and kind of flowed with you guys, but I'm looking to continue to expand. And so when I put Marketing 101 as the title of this conversation with you, I just wanted you to just get some of the basics. And the most basic element of marketing is that you have to have a plan in place before you do anything else. It is the most overused term. Stop spending your money with people that are not providing value for you. Stop wasting your time because you're in a state of overwhelm, and start doing some things to help to change yourself and change your life and change your business. I want to see you shine. I want to see you succeed. And the biggest thing is that for so long, we hold in our gifts and our talents and our abilities, waiting to be perfect. And I'm one of them. And that's one of the reasons that I've decided to start doing this little mini show on Google Hangouts for the rest of the year. I will never be perfect. To me, I am my own worst critic, as you are your own worst critic. So let's start to share some things with the world. Start to share some of your gifts, talents, and abilities, and start to add some value to those who you come in contact with so that you can go to the next level. Because I've worked with people, I've been under confidentiality, some things I won't be able to talk about and share with you guys, but I do know this, that the longer that you keep your mouth shut, the longer that you're quiet, the less people that you're able to touch and you're able to help. And so I hope that this is going to be helpful for you. I hope that this was helpful for you in this just brief blurb that I've done. There's a lot of order coming, you know, to this, but I had to get on here this morning and I had to share with you and I had to connect with you and let you know that your dreams, your skills, your talents, your abilities are possible, and marketing and branding and strategy and all that kind of stuff is not as hard as you think it is. And if you're willing to work with me and work through the process, I guarantee you that you can have a different level of success than you've had in this year. But you got to work for it, because nobody's going to want it for you as bad as you want it for yourself. And I'm telling you that from experience. And like I said, people always told me to focus on one thing, to be a specialist and not a generalist. And then I realized I'm a specialist in many areas, and those many areas have allowed me to see the bigger picture. I'm not just a specialist in web. You know, my first degree wasn't just in information technology. That wasn't my first area of, just my first area of study. You know, it was my first area of study. And it wasn't just about political science. It wasn't about, you know, learning some Japanese and that culture. It wasn't just about broadcast journalism and public affairs. It wasn't just about photography at one point, or digital media, or my master's in entertainment business from Full Sail University. It wasn't about any of those different things. Like, there were so many different things, and people thought she's all over the place. Well, I had to expand, as John Wesley Brown says, my mental bandwidth. And so my capability in learning these different aspects has allowed me to help my clients in multiple ways, because I know how things work together. You have to bring your media together. You have to find a way to make them gel and work so that everything comes and formulates and builds this beautiful masterpiece that is your brand. And people feel that, and they see you, and they start to act on that and take it to a whole nother level. So start to bring together all of the elements into your marketing plan, your marketing strategy. And once you have those things gel together, then not only will your consumer be able to see, but you'll be able to see where you're going to go. And so I created this formula, and the formula is this. It's in the description. It's consistency plus clarity equals credibility. Your marketing plan will give you a way to be consistent that you can map out, you can be clear, and you can become a more credible resource as an expert in your field. And on that note, I am signing off. Happy Saturday. I hope that you can take this message and do something powerful with it. But I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I hope you go to the next level and that you shine beyond belief. And you see, I keep touching his hair because she didn't really brush it before she hopped on here. But I did put on a little lip for you. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. And, you know, share around, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. But the next topic will go a little bit deeper into your marketing plan, but we're going to go into how you can start to gel your social media, your website, your strategic message, and all that kind of good stuff in the next episode, which is tomorrow morning. And I'm looking at setting an exact time for when I'm live so that you can chat with me and ask questions. I don't have that yet, but as I start to get it locked in, as we go into December before 2015, I hope that you can join me on a consistent basis and take yourself and take your brand to the next level. This is not a webinar. I don't need you to buy nothing. I don't need you to do anything but to start to shine and take yourself to the next level. Sending you love and light from sunny Atlanta. Big kiss.